So you're thinking about moving from San Francisco to Atlanta, Georgia, and you're wondering like not just the lifestyle change, but what it's going to mean to your bank account. What's the difference in the cost of living? Not just housing, but utilities and transportation and groceries and healthcare and all that stuff. And that's what this video is all about. So if you're making the move from San Fran to Atlanta and you want some insights into what that's going to mean to your wallet, stick around for that. We're going to get after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about eating, sleeping, working, playing, the good and the bad of living in Atlanta, Georgia, then subscribe below and ring the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about the current market here in Atlanta. My name's Denny. The team and I get calls each and every day from people just like you looking to make the move to Atlanta. We absolutely love it. So whether you're moving next week or next year or anytime in between, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Be happy to help you make a smooth move to Atlanta. As I mentioned, in this video, we're going to talk about not just the lifestyle differences, but the cost of living difference and how that translates to you. I personally have moved from Georgia to New York, back to Georgia, over to California, Chicago, Illinois, over to Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, and then back to Atlanta. So I've moved all over the country, and I know how, you only know what you know, and then you get there and there's these all these things that you figure out and you're like, man, I wish I would have known that before I got here. And so we want to try to give you some insights into that, empower you to make really good decisions so that you land not just in the perfect house, but in the perfect community for your lifestyle, and see how that translates to your bank account. So with that being said, let's dive right in. We're going to be talking about Atlanta versus San Francisco and the cost of living. And at the very end, I'll give you like the overall, I'm going to do the detailed list, break it out into different categories, and then I'll give you the overall number with an interesting insight into exactly what the difference in salary would be. And what you could, how much you'd make in San Francisco versus in Atlanta, and the difference in lifestyle. So with that being said, let's dive into the food and groceries. It is 18% more to feed yourself and your family in San Francisco than it is in Atlanta, Georgia. So as a husband and father to 4 young kids, my wife and I have, they're going to eat us out of house and home. So 18% difference in the thing that you do the most, which is groceries and food, is a significant difference. And so you're going to have a considerable savings in your visits to the grocery store. My wife literally just called me. It was like, hey, what do we need for groceries? So evidently we're going to need about 18% less than they do in San Francisco. The median home price, wow, Atlanta's $334,000. I know. But here that gets you a single family home with a nice yard. I mean, you're talking like, in the city of Atlanta or some of the suburbs, 3-4 bedrooms, 2-3 bathrooms, nice yard, good schools, all that stuff for $334,000. So you can sell your $1.47 million, your $1,471,200 home there in San Francisco, and you could buy 4 of them here, or one in the city, one in the mountains, one at the beach, one in the country, or you could do something more productive with all that money that you're saving on housing. The other housing cost, all of that factored in, you're talking about, insurance and maintenance and those things. It's 432% more expensive to own a home in San Francisco. You probably already knew that, but hopefully that shed some real numbers on the difference. The utilities for that home are 6% less actually in San Francisco. I think in California it's probably government subsidies for healthcare and utilities that kind of bring those prices down. So you pay it all. You pay, well, in income tax, you actually pay 100% more, up to 12.3% in California, and the highest tax bracket in Georgia is 5.75. So you pay double the income tax, but only 6% less in healthcare and utilities. So utilities 6% less. Transportation, healthcare is actually that's across the state of California. In San Francisco, healthcare is actually 16.3% more than it is in Atlanta. So you're going to pay more to go to the doctor. You're going to pay more for those pediatrician visits, for the dentist, for the eye doctor, for the if you have those unexpected emergency room visits. It's going to be 16.3% more there, and it's 29% more for transportation. Atlanta is a commuter city. I know San Francisco, maybe you can live, work, play around the trolley or grab an Uber, but for the most part, you're going to need a car, and it's going to be 30% more expensive for transportation in and around the San Francisco area, whereas in Georgia, it'll be significantly less in Atlanta. And then all that miscellaneous stuff is about 20%. So the big number, all that is like, the housing is tangible, right? I mean, 400% difference, 300% more. I mean, that to live in San Francisco, that's different. 432% more. That's different. But here's how to put that in context. If you were making $250,000 in San Francisco, you would only need to make $95,000 in Atlanta to maintain the same lifestyle. Now, if because of COVID, Atlanta's open for business. I mean, during the California is very much has restrict a lot of burdens and restrictions as it relates to COVID, and whether or not what you can do personally and from a business perspective. Atlanta had closer into the city center. It was more restrictive at the very beginning. The suburbs, you barely even felt it, but especially now and for most of the last over a year, Atlanta's been open for business. So there are no mandates, there are no restrictions. Everybody's open for business. Busiest airport in the world. So whether you travel for business or for pleasure, there's always a direct flight. Those flights are super cheap. But if you can keep your job and you can work remotely, you can move to Atlanta, keep that $250,000 a year income, and have a stellar lifestyle. Either you can maintain it for about 95, and the extra 150 grand you can invest in your future. So I hope that really helps give you some context for the difference in Atlanta and San Francisco, the lifestyle, the cost of living, and all of those things that go into it. Obviously, your situation may be different, and we'd be glad to help you kind of dissect all that and figure out how to apply it to you. So if you need us, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or schedule a Zoom. If we miss something, if you're from San Francisco or Atlanta, or you've made that move and you've got more feedback, we'd love that in the comments. We always want to be a resource for our viewers. If you haven't already, subscribe and tap that bell for notifications so you know when we release more great videos like this one. And until I see you in person or on a Zoom, then I'll see you on the next episode.